Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9 and just the road to the series finale this week. So while we're used to cameos happening in and around, within the Arrowverse, or I guess maybe just The Flash as a show, but I guess the Arrowverse as a whole as well, it actually is a big change in pace to see it the other way around with someone from the Arrowverse cameoing, or just to cameo somewhere else in the DC universe, whether it's in TV or film. But that did change in the 4th season, which also ended up being the final season of Titan. And this was in the 9th episode, which aired around a month ago roughly, and this was otherwise entitled Dude, Where's My Gar?, which was a Beast Boy focused episode, as you would assume from the title. Now this episode had Beast Boy traveling through the Red, which is sort of like the Speed Force, but it connects all living organisms and gives Beast Boy his powers. And whilst in the Red, Beast Boy sees different DC Comics characters from live action and animation, including Stargirl from Stargirl, played by Brec Bassinger, the real life figure of comic writer Grant Morrison in a pretty fun cameo, and lastly, Barry Allen, Grant Gustin's version, or the Flash, running in his super suit. And the Flash even strikes Beast Boy with some lightning, which spits him out onto Stargirl's Earth in the multiverse. But the big question around this is, well, did Grant actually know about this cameo? Surely he did, right? Well, when he was asked by Entertainment Weekly while talking, about the finale with them and just the end of the show, he was told about this cameo and Grant was apparently shocked and asked, "I did? When?" And the actor laughed as his cameo in that scene is actually explained and described to him. "This is good, don't cut this," Grant says, adding, "It's old footage, obviously. Wow, that's really cool. I had no idea." Now, I actually saw some people sort of surprised that Grant would have had no idea about this. Like, right, surely he would have known. Surely he would have had to sign off and everything like that. And the answer is, well, no. They can just it's Warner Brothers property. They can do what they want to with it. So it's not too much of a surprise that Grant didn't know about this. It was old footage. I think it was from memory when looking at it. I'm pretty sure it was from Armageddon. I think it's like the first scene that Grant got his gold boots in was it the 5th part of Armageddon, or episode 5 of season 8. So I think that was the footage that or that was the episode the footage was taken from. So yeah, I'm not shocked he didn't know about it. But it was said in like an interview. I think it was with Ryan Potter, who plays Beast Boy, but it was like Jeff Johns, who co-wrote the episode with Ryan Potter, was like putting in, characters that he, had involvement with. So like the Flash was, obviously Jeff Johns was involved with Arrow, but also the Flash, and Jeff Johns has a massive connection to the Flash. So yeah, and also multiverse, you think the Flash as well. So it makes a lot of sense that they'd use the Flash and that they use Grant's version. So yeah, makes a lot of sense there. But due to the topic of crossovers coming up, Grant Gustin had previously thought that Stephen Amell's final appearance as Oliver Queen this season, in the final season of The Flash, was going to be his last crossover moment, with Grant saying, "I knew pretty early on, before we started filming the season, that we were going to have Stephen. I think Stephen told me first, just because he was really quick, and then showrunner Eric Wallace texted me 5 minutes later or something. Stephen and I, that was one of the most special relationships for fans to see on camera, and we also just had so much fun. We're really different guys and actors, but we also have a lot of things in common interest-wise, and we always have fun, or had fun working together, and our characters were so opposite that it was just fun to play off each other." It was exciting to have Stephen back. Now, the thing with this is that Grant says that he thought his final appearance, or like Stephen's final appearance, would be his final crossover moment, but it was. The Green Arrow episode, or the episode of The Flash, season 9, that Oliver or Stephen Amell comes back to play Oliver, or Green Arrow with Diggle coming back, Wally coming back, Bloodwork coming back. That aired after the Beast Boy episode. The Beast Boy episode aired on I think it was April 20th or something like that, or 21st, something like that. And the Flash episode with Green Arrow aired on April 26th or 27th or something. So almost a week later. So it was the final crossover moment, unless something maybe happens in the future. But yeah, it was actually the final crossover moment, but maybe Grant can have his dates aligned as to what happened last and what happened first. But yeah. But the showrunner for The Flash, that being Eric Wallace, actually gave some insight on what other series finales from other shows, so other shows out there, he actually used as inspiration for the Flash series finale. Before sitting down to even conceptualize and write this, I watched a whole bunch of series finales, and I'll tell you the ones I loved and used as inspiration. Lost, Angel, and The Office, ironically. I loved the Lost finale so much because it was 2 hours and it's full of emotion. They cried and I cried and everybody cried, but the one that I went back to as being a perfect series finale, in my opinion, was Angel, the Buffy spin-off. Man, I still remember the feelings I had watching that Angel finale. It just blew me off the planet. I thought a lot about it. What's really good in this and what do we need to pull out? I'm not saying it's the same storyline, and it's not even close to the same storyline, but it's all about the feelings. There's similar feelings in that series finale that I wanted to get across, and same thing with Lost. People think as I like horror movies and action that I don't like comedies, but The Office was a great series finale. And if you look at The Office series finale and our series finale, you might actually see some similarities in the strangest way. As a viewer who had been watching The Office for 9 seasons religiously, I wanted so badly for Steve Carell's Michael Scott to come back to that show, and I recognized that feeling that I got when he showed up. I'm like, I have to deliver a similar feeling in our series finale. That's when I decided there had to be a lot of faces from the past. And the thing with this is that I'm not really that familiar with the Angel finale at all. The only thing that I get from like reading some stuff is that it just sort of like ends really abruptly, I think it is, but also leaves it like a cliffhanger, but a good cliffhanger. And the thing with Lost, the big thing I know is that a lot of people didn't like the finale of Lost, but it also ends with it being revealed that they all died or something. This might be a spoiler if you're watching Lost, so sorry, but I think they die on the plane crash and everything was fake, which I don't see happening with The Flash. I don't even know what the context would be you could use in The Flash. That Barry actually was still in the coma, maybe? He was always in a coma, just dreamed about this whole 9-season journey as the Flash. That would be awful. That would be the worst ending possible. This is a goddamn superhero show. So I don't see that happening. So I don't know what the Flash version in regards to using the inspiration from those 2 shows would be. And Eric Wallace did say in this interview, but I won't include it here in regards to quote, but he says like the battle with the Flash doesn't end mid-battle. So I think maybe with the Angel stuff, it's maybe open-ending. Like that's where the Flash show or the Flash finale is. It's an open-ended finale, very similar to what the Angel finale is. And in regards to the Lost one, maybe it's the emotions that he's referring to in regards to the Lost one, because outside of that, I don't know what the similarity or the inspiration's meant to be. Now, The Office one is the one that I can actually like understand because I love The Office as a show. I've rewatched it multiple times, and it does have a really good series finale with, you know, returning faces and stuff like that. And you know, I think this is mainly just referring to like Zoom coming back, Reverse Flash, Savitar. I'm assuming that's who it's about. That's what I'd assume so, because Michael Scott coming back was a big thing in that series finale. So I think we already know what he's referring to here. It's like those characters coming back for one final hurrah, one final battle, and maybe a hidden surprise there, but we'll have to wait and see, you know, when the series finale airs in a handful of days from now. And the final thing to go in this video is just something that actually came out not too long before I recorded this video, and that was something with Flash TV News. Now, Eric Wallace was actually asked by Flash TV News if he'd have any interest in writing Flash, like a continuation to the Flash story through like comics or like some sort of like audio thing or anything like that. And this is what Eric Wallace had to say. Yes, I would love to. Not immediately, give me a year off, I need a break, but I would love to write a Flash audio adventure at some point in the future to tell the stories that I wasn't able to tell during this particular moment. Now this, like alongside some other things that I've seen, sort of sparks a conversation of, would you ever see any sort of medium that would carry on these stories, whether it's the Flash or just other things in the Arrowverse? And the answer to that is, well, maybe, because there's been a history of it, or there's like an example of it with Smallville. Smallville had those season 11 comics, which sort of continued Smallville's story in a very drastic way, where it pretty much fast forwarded a lot of stuff, where we have Justice League in that, and there's like, you get a Batman in Smallville's Earth, and you know, you get the Clark Kent from Smallville's much more developed as Superman, and all these different heroes come in. So it pretty much just makes like the DC Universe comics that you normally get, but with the Smallville characters, and a lot of people do like those comics. They actually really, really do like them. So could you get that with the Arrowverse? And the answer to that is, well, yeah, I don't know why they would stop anything. I know those Earth Prime comics that came out last year sold well, at least most of them did. I think there might have been one issue which was a bit of an underperformer. I think the majority of them sold pretty well. If not, they were really hard to get. I've heard people like told me that they couldn't get them physically. They just sold out, and they only printed like a certain amount of them, so they had to get them digitally. Like I got them from digital, so I don't know about the physical shortages or anything like that. But that's an example where you could continue it, whether it is like, you know, you do like a fast forward. So we're not continuing in like where a possible season 10 of The Flash would have been, but you jump ahead 10 or 20 years and you pick up with the characters there. So they are different. There's more development there. The Justice League is more formed, things like that. Maybe they pick up in 2049 when we get these constant teasers when we do flash forwards or time travel and stuff like that. So that could be an area where they, you know, pick stuff up. Do I expect that to happen? Probably not. But then again, it's up to DC Comics, but they've sort of like not lost funding, but they're not making as many books as they were, like when they did the Smallville season 11 thing. So would it be a bit surprising to see anything like that? I mean, even they stopped doing the 0.5 comics that they used to do between seasons. So yeah, I'd be surprised if we got anything like that. And, you know, It depends who's writing it as well. Like, you don't want some random coming in and changing how a character is and everything like that. So maybe it's just best to let it, end with the finale and let the live action show do the speaking for the characters. And I've always felt that, a lot of the Arrowverse shows are pretty much like the comics, or at least the Arrowverse as a whole is very comic-y. Maybe certain characters aren't interpreted correctly, but the Arrowverse as a whole is very comic-y, so it's already like that. So maybe there's no need to, but that probably just comes down to, your own, subjective opinion. So yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything we went over in this video. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.